These are Peter peppers. Hornworms in the garden. This is a no-no. They're beautiful, but I just can't have them chewing on my stuff. Good morning or afternoon, and welcome to this episode of Wickyshire Project Off-Grid. This here is perfect for a fall garden, which you should be starting right about now. Summertime has just blazed by and cooked everybody's gardens, and all the bugs came in and ate everything. But now temperatures here, particularly in Tennessee, 58 at night and 81, 82 during the day. This here is perfect for a fall garden. Things you might want to consider planting are leafy greens and brassicas such as cabbage, broccoli, my favorite, Swiss chard. We didn't have a really good squash harvest and the melons all failed and burnt up. Being in 7A, I think we'll give it another go. The weather's a lot cooler. The pots will stay wetter longer and they won't dry out, baking to death. So we're going to do everything that we did in spring. We're going to do it again, and we're going to focus on a lot of squashes because I want my candy roasters. I got to have something. I don't care if it's one or two. So here we have the compost area and a bunch of sticks and leaves my son was collecting and gathering basically through the woods, just cleaning up the paths. Using the barrel, I told him just throw it in there. I'll have to sift through it, but he's got the leaf mold, he's got all the path cleared. We're starting to pile this up. All my food scraps will end up thrown in here. Russ said he'd let me use the lawnmower. I got to get all this mowed down. Once we get all this green mowed down, it'll go inside that compost pile. Another note, I don't like showing all the stuff under the house. That when we moved, we have no room for it. Inside the house is packed full of totes and everything, and all my stuff. That's my garage, or that is my that's my storage shed underneath the shed. And it's a mess here, and I don't like it. Don't like the mess. So if you want to see what the front of the house looks like, we just got all these containers and pots for growing. There's a ton there. The water barrels need to be set up. The water barrel's there that catches water. Trash barrels are going to go out on the side. The slop sink needs to be installed around the back. Garden's petered out, still there. Elephant ears, again, they baked to death. They'll regrow, they'll be lush again. So Sharon's garden here has kind of gone awry. We're going to replant everything. There's a lot of foam that was donated that we could put into the new shed. I did film this. And this is day 3. It's the 3rd day built, and it is a 10 by 12. So it's 10 foot across and it's 12 foot long. It's all repurposed wood, and we'll clean all this up. My buddy Russ and Nikki put this together in 3 days. It's all framed in. We're going to take some silicone. We're just going to patch up all these little holes. No, there is silicone up there. Got little tiny skylights made out of silicone. Yeah, he patched it all up. So it's called open framing. Basically, there's an air vent to let humidity and moisture out, and air vent flowing through. Being in Tennessee, it gets very moist and hot, and if you have something that's completely sealed up and that doesn't breathe, you're going to have mold issues. But we'll give it some TLC, we'll put some electricity in here, and I'll get the house cleaned out and we'll start rebuilding the house on the inside. Again, the whole backyard is overgrown. Somehow everything else seems to have grown fantastic, except for the melon excursion, which failed a miserable, horrible death. Of that, there are a few things that are coming back. It looks like there's a bunch of beans that want to regrow. It's the lima beans. In order to harvest lima beans, they have to have the beans in them, so these are flat as a pancake. They'll bulk out, and that's how you know. Once they brown a bit and start to die and dry off, they'll dry on here, then you can harvest them. Prime example of that would be these here. You can hear them jiggling in there. These beans are ready to be pulled off and harvested, so I'll stick that in my pocket. These are almost there. They're good enough to pull off. So lima beans, this is how you collect them. Open them up, let them dry, and then stick them in a paper bag, and then you can package them up after a few weeks. Now we're going to replant. So I'm going to take everything that is DOA, dead in the water here, or should I say DOW. We're going to remix up these soils. We're going to reblend them with some bone meal and blood meal. I'm going to loosen this soil up, which is very heavy in clay, with some more peat moss to retain soil moisture. We're just going to revitalize these and clean all this up. Yeah, there's little green beans that want to come back. I don't know if I'll keep them. This is local grasses that decided to grow. We're going to give this another shot down here in Tennessee and see what we can do. The melon vine has peated out. I'm not seeing any leaves on it. That's the last melon. So I'll pull that off, bring that in the house, we'll eat this. That plant there it's a cantaloupe. It's coming back to life. It's in a coffee cup with a bunch of holes. The roots have gone and dug into the tire. That's fine. I got to cut all this stuff down. I wasn't taking it down because I was trying to provide as much shade as possible. I think we'll just redo this. We'll call it a day. We'll pull this apart and redo it, even though there is life. So I might leave it on there longer. That plant right there is 6 inches. Maybe I want to get up to 7, 8, or 9. Get a little more growth out of it. The stem looks pretty healthy. I mean, it's not completely dead. It is still feeding those fruit. There is some life. So I don't know. I'll leave it on there another 2 weeks until everything dies out and looks just like this, all browned out. So here we have hornworm devastation. They've eaten all the leaves off the pepper plants. But this was a few weeks ago. And from that, you can see all the new leaves starting up again. So the plant's still wanting to go. Good. If it's doing this, we'll produce more peppers. I'll show you what a giant hornworm looks like. These guys here must have missed one. And there's a finger. So he's about 4 or 5 inches. So I'm going to take him off. Hornworms in the garden. This is a no-no. They're beautiful, but I just can't have them chewing on my stuff. And what I'll do with him is I'll put him over near a tree. He'll turn into whatever beautiful bug he'll pupate into. Let him do his thing. Again, my garden was hit so heavy by flea beetles. The damage is just intense. If you're in the south or if you have a problem with flea beetles when you start your plants, make sure you get them under some bug netting, or else this is going to happen. And it was so hard to grow any of the eggplants. It was just a rough go the whole entire season. The hornworms just devastated these plants. I don't think this one's coming back. It's just stripped completely. But we've got pepper plants. So they're still growing. Again, we have 80-degree days. These were all my backup eggplants. So I might move these into the pots. I do have a few more eggplants forming. We'll see how it goes. But I mean, this is just damage. Even with all the flea beetle damage, the Green Knights are still producing. Things started to regrow, and that's when the hornworms hit and cleaned off the leaves again. But the plants aren't giving up. They're putting leaves out again. Maybe we'll get some more tomatoes. You know, we're getting a few. What everyone is calling a potato leaf style tomato. These are gorgeous. So I'm really hoping that this comes back and does its thing. This plant I like the most. Just checking on these bean plants. These are going to what we call seed. We're letting them harden up so we have something for next year, and then I'll relabel them. But it's green, and there's new life coming through. So once these get nice, big, and lush, I'll pull the rest of this stuff off. I'm at Eric's place. We're putting the rows in. He's going to get those replanted. So this is what it looks like before he gets it planted. They're just rows of dirt dug into the clay. He's got his 2 mounds up. We're going to grow a bunch of squashes and pumpkins, hopefully out of that. He's putting all his food scraps in here to help feed the soil. There are still pepper plants up. Still tomatoes going. He cleaned a bunch of the tomato plants out. He's getting all his plants ready. Everything's getting set up for tomatoes. They might be doing beets in here and carrots. Get some kale going, squashes and everything. The other pots, everything up on the table. We brought our seed bank down here. So he's going to be planting all this stuff soon. And they're just getting ready with all their seed starts. And hopefully we'll have a good fall garden. Oh, we set up those 2 crates with potatoes, and we put a couple potatoes in the rows. Enjoy your fall gardening, grow your food, and just have fun doing it. You're always going to have success. You're always going to have some failures. Each year of growing is never going to be the same. Don't fret, just keep at it. Save your seeds. It's not hard. Wash them, let them dry, repackage them up. You'll have a steady, endless supply of free seeds. Wish us luck this fall. Get your gardens in. Stop replanting, pull up, give it another dose of compost. Get everything reset. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll catch you on the next one.